Obviously, a tough game for our team. First quarter, I think we played a Memphis style of basketball. We just have to be able to sustain that for longer. Foul trouble always hurts our runs, I feel like. So playing smarter basketball is something that we have to get better at. But, I think I told the team we have to forget this non-conference and move on to conference season.
Forgetting the non-conference, but at the same time learning from it, right? And how much does playing these type of games help your team overall to improve as you go into conference play?
Well, obviously we do our schedule much in advance. So we always know that anytime we schedule, anytime we play tough games, we're preparing for March. So we know that this game will prepare us. If this game is considered a hard game, that means our future games will come easy for us. We just have to, again, play a Memphis style of basketball.
Kind of going off of that, 2 tough games and then this long stretch off going into conference play. What do you plan to do during the break? And obviously these 2 games getting Dede in the fold. How do you feel heading into conference with that?
I feel very, very confident. We're actually practicing tomorrow just so that we can cut out some of our off days. But I think we got some players injured. Hopefully that will be back once we get back from Christmas break. But everybody at the end of the day has to be on the same page. Off days are good. We have injuries and things like that. But those players have to come back healthy so that our rotations can be a little bit more solid. And then everybody has to get to a point where we can depend on consistent basketball on both ends.
Tilley Bower, you've been like the leading offensive player for this Memphis Tigers team this season. And at moments they do slack in terms of like energy. What are some ways that you've been able, going into the next couple of games, what are some ways you plan to keep the energy going offensively for the other players on the court?
I just stay true to my game and trust that they have my back. Like, whenever we need a bucket, like, I'm coming off like this is going in and it goes in. Like, being that energy, the missing piece, and trying to just tie it all together.
Alex, that second quarter was pivotal in the game. And in your words, what was different in the second quarter for you guys versus the first, third, and fourth?
I think we did a much better job of guarding the three-point line in the other quarters aside from the second quarter. I think they shot 75%. I think they only shot 4, but they were extremely efficient. And again, that's when some of our fouls started to happen. And then we had some players on the bench too long. We had some players on the court too long who needed breaks from time to time. So that's like the next level where we need to get to, where everybody's doing their role and being able to play their role longer, which will change some of our results.
Coach, you've all had several setbacks in a row. How is the morale in terms of people still staying focused, your team still playing focused and locked in and getting, like you said, getting ready for that in-conference play?
Well, at the end of the day, the rest of our games, especially the first one on January 1st, everybody's record is 0-0. That's one of the good things about going into the American Conference play, is that this non-conference actually doesn't matter. It's all about winning every game and winning a championship. So I think it's when you know that if you do your job, that's what you get at the end of it. It's pretty easy to refocus yourself and move on. Dwelling on the past or dwelling on what could have been or what would have been or what should have been is not going to get us where we need to go. And I tell them all the time, the difference between today and the difference between yesterday and today is tomorrow. So we have to make sure we're one-track mindset, we're staying focused, and we're moving on no matter what.
So I think a big reason for these this non-conference not going exactly how you wanted it to was the injuries, like you alluded to before. Do you know any sort of like timetable of when you expect to get those players back in your rotation? We hope to have a couple players back by the time we play on the 1st.
don't necessarily have a solid timetable. We're just making sure everybody's healthy and that we don't want to rush anybody back, because that's when you get injuries from the players that are playing. You get even worse injury from the players that are already injured. So trying to take our time, but at the same time, the expectation is for a couple of those players who are sitting out right now to be back in the new year.
Going back to your comment about the roles and everything, how much do injuries play a role in that, and some players getting used to different roles that they may not have been in if all your players were
Oh, it plays a huge difference. There's been games where we've had guards playing the post, we've had posts out there playing on the perimeter. Defensively, it shouldn't matter because we always want to be versatile. But on the offensive end, if you're a post player and you're used to being on the block and banging, now all of a sudden you have to come off a ball screen. It's tough. If you're a guard, now all of a sudden you're having to be in a post up. It's pretty tough. So it's hard to make that transition and adjustment in the period of time that we've had to. Kudos to our players for everybody just doing what they need to do to step up to get the team where we need it to be.
First of all, Merry Christmas to both of y'all. What's your favorite thing about Christmas? And do you have any memories of growing up in Shelby or Meridian?
You can go.
My favorite memory is the food. Like, always being able to eat dressing. We eat dressing every year, like each year. It's like a tradition, dressing, like soul food. And I used to try to like shake gifts. That's my tradition, trying to shake gifts when I was younger underneath the tree, trying to like figure out what I got. I still do that to this day.
What's your favorite gift?
My favorite gift? What you mean?
Yeah,
that you've ever gotten.
Oh, my favorite gift. It has to be phone, like electronics, phones, iPads, AirPods, technology.